This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2019 Audi Q7 Premium Plus. Up front is a 3.0 liter supercharged V6, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here Q7 for one reason and one reason only, and that is that I think this looks awesome. It's packed with features, it's got a supercharged V6, it's new, it's fresh, I love Audi products, and so let's see if the Q7 lives up to the hype. Now let's get back to that 3.0 liter supercharged V6. Well, we've seen this engine a lot from Audi in the past. A6, S4, A4, Q5, they've used it across their entire lineup at some point or another. It makes 329 horsepower, 325 foot-pounds of torque, which are some pretty good numbers, especially because this isn't a performance SUV. This is just an SUV that you take to Whole Foods or Mariano's. In terms of miles per gallon, it gets 19 city, 25 highway. Not the best numbers, but you have to remember that this is a very large vehicle and it's a supercharged V6. You're gonna have a little bit of fun with it. You're gonna play with the accelerator pedal any chance you get. And so what I really like about the engine is the fact that it is used across Audi's lineup. So if something breaks, and it's an Audi product, so it probably will at some point, there's plenty of parts available for it to be fixed, and it's a well-known engine. You're not marching into the great unknown with this. But before we get any further and talk about the transmission, we are finally warmed up here on the test track on this really cold day, but we are up to proper operating temperature, so we will put it over into dynamic mode. Audi Q7 Premium Plus. I do have to brake a little early today due to the ice and snow on the track. Oh, but man, nothing quite drives like an Audi product. I absolutely love the feeling of it. It is quick enough, it is fast enough. It'll get you to where you need to go without any hesitation. Like I said, paired to it, 8-speed automatic transmission. That's nothing really new. I don't really notice it shifting all that much, but it is a tried and true 8-speed. It's not a CVT, which need not be said. Audi and Volkswagen don't really use CVTs, but now CVTs are so popular with other manufacturers, I feel like I might have to specify, but it's a solid transmission. And last but not least, this is the Quattro, so that means it has all-wheel drive, which I think the Quattro system is pretty good, but I do want to test it out because the slope here on the test track is actually very snowy today. So let's see how it does. But before we get on with the rest of the video, I want to say thank you to the people who made this video possible. First up, cashforcars.com wants to buy your car. They will buy your car with a clean title, salvage title, running, non-running, whatever it may be. You can get your free quote by clicking the link in the description below. Cashforcars.com is the easiest way to sell your car. Within a couple of clicks, they'll come pick up your car in less than 24 hours. You don't even have to leave the couch, and it's absolutely awesome. Next up, we have con plates. The con plate is a suction cup mount for your license plate when you don't want to mount it to the front of your car. If you have to legally have a front license plate like you do here in Illinois, but you don't want to stick it on the front of your car, you think it's ugly, you want to take it off for car shows, whatever it may be, you can actually just put your license plate into the suction cup holder and put it in your front windshield when driving around to remain legal. You can get your con plate in the description below, and every sale helps out the channel, so make sure your car looks good with con plates. Last but not least, I want to talk about the fixed OBD2 sensor. Now, this is a Bluetooth sensor that you plug into your OBD2 port on your car, and it gives you a ton of cool information like your check engine lights, how to fix your check engine lights, approximately how much it should cost, maintenance intervals like oil change, tire rotation, brake pads, when you should change that stuff out. This is absolutely fantastic for anyone into cars or anyone looking to get into mechanics. Fixed is offering my viewers a discount through that link, so go check it out, and again, help support the channel. But with all of that out of the way, let's get on with the review. Now we got to talk about the interior. So in front of me, I have two physical gauges and a screen. On the left is my coolant temperature and on the right is my fuel. And I absolutely love the way these look. They look like health bars in a video game. You guys know I love that. But in the center, I do get a tachometer on the left and speedometer on the right. But I have a very customizable center screen. My favorite screen is actually the navigation view because I think this is so smart. You can have your navigation right in front of you while keeping an eye on your speed and tachometer if you want. But I can also change the size of the tachometer and speedometer if I want. But along with that, I will cycle through a couple different things that you can have up on your screen. This is fantastic. I leave it on the navigation screen because I think it's so smart that Audi gives you this option to keep an eye on where you're going and where you've been. Super smart. I love digital dashboards, and I think if you have a digital dashboard, you should be able to do whatever the heck you want with it, and Audi really gives you that opportunity to customize it and look at what you want and push aside what you don't. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my selectors for that center gauge cluster screen that we just talked about, and on the right, I have my phone options, volume options, and my heated steering wheel. I do have paddle shifters around the back of the steering wheel as well, if that's something that you would like. And then I do have a cruise control stalk to the bottom left. This car does have radar sensing adjustable cruise control, which is fantastic, but seen on most vehicles these days. To the left of me, I have my headlight switches, as well as sort of an Audi quirk. I've seen it on a couple other vehicles. There's a button for your headlights in the rain, which I think is a kind of a funny European option. On the door, I have two different memory seat options, lock and unlock, power windows, and power mirrors. The mirrors are heated as well, and they are power folding, which is very handy if you street park your Audi. Moving into the center, I do have a slightly smaller information screen than I would have liked to have seen. However, it does have a fun party trick where it recedes into the dash when the vehicle is turned off. I like the functionality of it overall. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard here in the Q7, which is great. And overall, it's pretty easy to use. I can go to vehicle settings, driver assistance, air conditioning, things like that. And so I have some customization. I also have sound, radio, media, telephone, navigation, map, Audi Connect, Audi smartphone interface, and settings. So the Audi smartphone interface, that's going to be your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But overall, I like how smooth the screen is. And real quick, we'll talk about the backup camera. I like that the backup camera adjusts the lines. I think that's great. But I can also change between a bunch of different views. My corner view, my front view, which is great. Surroundings, a 360 bird's eye camera view, which is great. Just the rear of the car or rear corner. Tons of options here in the Q7, and I absolutely love that. I can see anything I want to see just based off of this backup camera, which is fantastic. I've never seen a backup camera that actually lets you look forward while you're going backwards, but you can do that, and it's great. Down below the center screen, we have a couple climate control vents and a couple more buttons. On the far left is my drive mode select button. So the Q7 has a couple different drive modes. Off-road, comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Individual is going to be your custom mode, and the others are pretty self-explanatory. Dynamic, of course, being sport. Then next to that, I have my automatic start-stop on and off button, my traction control on and off, my hazard switch, my parking assist button, which you could pull up to a parallel parking spot, and the Q7 will assist you in that. Then I have my parking sensors on and off, hill descent control on and off, and my screen on and off. Then we have our climate controls down below. Of course, heated seats, but no cooled seats. It looks like there should be a cooled seat switch, but The Premium Plus does not get the cooled seats. Dual zone climate. I love the look of these knobs. I think they're super functional. I think they're super modern. I love the blue and red lights surrounding them, signifying hot and cold. And overall, I think it looks fantastic. Then I have a little cubby with a 12-volt outlet. And moving on to the center console, I have a trackpad. Now, down below the trackpad is a little dial knob for moving around in the center screen. I like this dial knob a lot. It clicks in place, very intuitive, very tactile, and I absolutely love that. And the buttons surrounding it, the navigation, map, telephone, radio, and media buttons, all are really great. But let's get back to the trackpad. It's pretty laggy. I'm using it here on the navigation. It's pretty laggy. Now, it is pretty cold today, but the vehicle's warmed up to operating temperature, so that shouldn't really matter. It's laggy. One swipe of my finger might do two different things if I do it twice, if that makes sense. It's not very consistent. I don't like the trackpad. I think the trackpad can be taken out of this vehicle and thrown in a landfill. I really, really dislike trackpads in pretty much all cars, because while you're driving, if you hit a bump and your finger swipes, then you're on a different menu. Things change. Touchpads have no place in a car like this. Touch screens, yes, but touchpads, no. I think this is very early 2000s technology, and I don't care for it at all. Down below the hideous trackpad, we do have the gear selector. Now, I have a bone to pick with the gear selector as well, because you move it forward for reverse, middle for neutral, and back for drive and sport. That's fine. That's normal. But park is a button. Now, this will take some getting used to, and someone who owns this vehicle for more than 2 days isn't going to really struggle with this. However, I went to go park the car today at Toyota. I hit the button, moved the shifter all the way up to the top, started unbuckling, and realized, oh, I'm still moving in reverse. It just takes some getting used to, which is fine, but if you let someone borrow your car and they're parking it back in your garage in downtown Chicago and they just backed it in or pulled it into a spot and they're ready to get out and give you your car back, and then they start going in reverse and hit something, well, that's not good. So that's why I dislike this sort of shifter. At the very bottom, I do have my power parking brake, which is nice, but I don't get auto holding brakes, which I feel like should go hand in hand with a power parking brake. To the right, I do have cup holders, and they have absolutely no hope of fitting the big friggin' bottle. They are almost comically small. I mean, like, you could fit like a small coffee in here, maybe, which is, you know, probably the key demographic of this vehicle, but that's really it. Then, of course, I do have a volume knob, which I like the placement of because I normally rest my hand on the center console, so it's right there. Absolutely love the placement of the radio dial. Then we do have a little center console with a wireless charger, 2 USB ports, and an aux port, which is really smart, really clean and simple, and hidden away when I don't want to see it. Now we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are nice and comfortable. I'm pleasantly enjoying them. Like I said, they're heated, and I cannot thank them enough on this frigid day for being heated. But they're comfortable. They're not sporty or anything. They don't have high bolsters. They're easy to get in and out of, and that's what I like. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's do some back seat reviews. All right, so we're in the back of the 2019 Audi Q7 Premium Plus, and a couple things to note back here. First of all, I have two 12-volt outlets at the very bottom. I have my own climate controls and heated seats for the rear two occupants, which is great, and I absolutely love that. I also get to enjoy this panoramic sunroof up above. Really love that, especially on a day like today. I can see ice forming in little bubbles, and if I was a kid, I would love to just stare out this all day. Headroom, great. Legroom, great, not even touching the front seat, and that is my driving position. I do have climate control vents on the B pillars here, which is great. Really, really nice. You can adjust that yourself, as well as I have vents down here. I do have an opening cup holder, which again, these cup holders are comedically small. I don't know what the heck you could fit in here, but not much. But I can fold this up, and it tucks away for a center seat. I do also have Bose speakers in the doors, which this has a Bose audio system in the Q7, and I absolutely love Bose. Their car systems are fantastic. The Q7 does have a third row, but we'll talk about that when we go around the back to the cargo area. All right, so we're on the back of the Q7. Just one button under there. It does have a power tailgate, which is great. And this is where we find our third row seating. Now, people have asked me to keep the third row seating down in order to show the actual cargo space, which is fantastic when you're not using that third row. However, if we move this stuff out of the way here. We do have buttons over here to fold the seats back up. Which is pretty great. And nice thing, we have buttons to push them right back down. I absolutely love that. I think it's super smart from Audi's perspective. And a lot of SUVs have them down, but not a lot of them have them back up. The Explorer ST does, but it's sort of rare to find. I also have a 12-volt outlet back here that's very important to me, but otherwise, great cargo space here in the Q7. Now we gotta talk about the looks. This is finished in samurai gray metallic, and I love it. I really, really love the look of this Q7. I think Audi really hit the nail on the head. It looks upscale, it looks premium, it looks modern, it looks fresh, and it looks expensive. This is an expensive vehicle, and it looks the part. And now we gotta talk about my final thoughts on the Audi Q7 Premium Plus. Well, I love it. I don't really find much wrong with this Q7, but in the hopes of ending more positively, let's talk about the negatives. I hate that trackpad. That trackpad is terrible, it's garbage, and I hate using it. Anytime I have to use it in the infotainment system, it just ruins my mood. I don't like the gear selector. I don't like the shifter getting in and out of gear. I think park should be all the way at the top, or it should all just be push buttons. Pick one or the other, Audi. Don't give me this collaboration BS. I don't like how small the cup holders are. I think they should be larger, not just to fit the big friggin' bottle, but just to fit regular drinks. They're way, way too small. But all of those issues are contained to about 1 square foot of this vehicle. Besides that, I love the looks. I think it's a really solid looking SUV. This is something you can get out of. You can park at Sullivan's Steakhouse, look back and be proud of. And that's what I look for in a vehicle. If I'm not proud of the car that I'm driving, it's not a car worth driving. And this I'm proud of. I like the driving experience. The 3-liter supercharged V6 makes great power. The transmission is great. I'm comfortable in here, heated steering wheel, heated seats. I have pretty good visibility for it being an SUV. And so, well, that's it. I really, really like the Q7. I really think it's a solid contender for a luxury SUV and something I would look into leasing. And the reason I say leasing is because Audi reliability 10, 15 years down the road hasn't always been the best. But if you're just gonna have this vehicle for a couple of years when it's brand new, there's not much that gets better than this. There's really not much that's better than this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their 2019 Audi Q7 Premium Plus. They have tons of used cars on the lot. I'm about to get into a BMW X5, so I'll leave that review at the end of this one. But they have tons of vehicles on the lot, not just Toyotas, not just Audis, not just BMWs. They have Fords, Chevys, Mini Coopers. I mean, they have tons of used cars. If you're looking for a vehicle, Toyota of Naperville should be your first stop. They're absolutely awesome, great customer service, and I can't recommend them enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.